Chapter 25, Paradise City. It's been less than 24 hours since our crew departed Rhea's cradle with the time crystal. Having piloted the Clementine far enough away from any potential long-range Weyland-Yutani scanner probes, Rom and Lucy have hidden the ship amidst a mass collection of drifting asteroids. While most of the crew focuses on getting the ship back into proper working order, Captain Grimshaw and First Officer Layla Briggs put in a different kind of work as they spar against each other in hand-to-hand combat in the ship's holographic dojo. Clear sky above fills the ceiling with a bright, sunny sky. Along the walls, projected images of a Japanese koi pond in winter provides the room and its inhabitants with a sense of calm. The pair is silent, examining each other's most minute movements for an opening to attack.
Yeah, Grimshaw just fucking lunges at her, man. And just no deception, no warning, no words. He just lunges at her. He goes for like a grab and throw.
All right, so go ahead and roll your Grimshaw's close combat on that.
Layla's going to try to block.
All right, so Grimshaw successfully grabs and throws her.
All right, and that deals
1 damage, which means now it's initiative.
Okay. Good for her, Layla.
So Layla goes first. She Grimshaw grabs and throws her, but she rolls with the toss and just like pops back up on the dojo like it was nothing.
She realizes that she probably can't take him head on, so she tries a feint and then tries to do a counter. She tries a little bit of a deception with him. Maybe she even goes for his legs. Like she doesn't. He's obviously 7 feet tall and has her by legs. By like, yeah.
Like 2 feet.
Yeah. And like probably 100 pounds almost.
Oh, yeah, easy.
So, yeah, she tries a feint. Maybe she like feints high and goes low.
Okay. All right. Let's see if Grimshaw blocks it.
That's not good.
Yeah, or she feints high but goes low and like tries to sweep him, but his legs are like tree trunks. So like she just like kicks his leg and like nothing really happens.
And with the extra 6, I'm gonna counter.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
All right, Layla's gonna try to block.
Oh my god, dude.
It might be fucking one and done, bro.
It might be one and done. Oh. So she blocks 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's just not even fucking sweating a stunt. I could knock her down. She feints, goes low, and essentially like her leg just fucking bounces off of him. And while she's like prone, he just fucking hammer fucking fists her down and just mollywops her, dude.
Okay.
And she's completely dazed. Yep. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What did I fucking do?
Yep. The holographic room is spinning right now for Layla.
And then Grimshaw comes in for like a fucking front kick, finish her off.
All right. Okay. So like she's standing there like kind of dazed from like just getting like pounded into the ground, and like she kind of like turns and looks, and he just takes 2 steps forward and kicks her as hard as he can into the chest, and like she just straight up like tumbles backwards and lands on the ground like unable to breathe. And like Grimshaw has like won that fight.
She has the fucking wind completely knocked out of her. She's sprawled out on her back, and Grimshaw just kind of smiles at her and is like, "Not yet. You got a lot to learn, Layla."
So at that point in the dojo, Layla and Grimshaw hear the comm unit crackle to life with the voice of one of the 3 androids that Layla met at Rhea's cradle that came with you guys back to the ship. He's like, First Officer Briggs, this is Panthera. Are you available to speak?
Yes, kind of, sort of.
Well, I believe that if you have any free time soon, if you come to the medical bay, that we could potentially, with each other's help, cure your friend Chum of his cryosickness.
All right. Give me a few minutes to catch my breath, and I'll be heading that way.
Are you all right? You sound like you've been damaged.
Just my pride. I'll be fine.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, Layla pretty much climbs to her feet, kind of smirks, and gives him a playful jab on the shoulder, and it's like, one of these days I'm gonna get you. And he's like, Not anytime soon.
Oh. Layla leaves the dojo.
Grimshaw, yeah, he's gonna do a quick workout.
Outside of the ship, the forever expanse of space is silent. The Clementine rests amidst a plethora of multi-sized asteroids drifting aimlessly through space. The Battle of Rhea's Cradle was a success, but it wasn't without loss. The ship's heavy railgun turret was completely destroyed to an unrepairable degree. All orbital mines were used, one of the thrusters is on its last legs, and carbon-scoring damage litters the hull of the ship, dotted across the armor like Swiss cheese. Regardless of Rom's prowess with a flight control unit, the might of Weyland-Yutani's security forces have proven nothing to scoff at. Drifting gently around the ship in their spacesuits like gnats, Rom, Soleil, Lucy, Regis, Leo, and Felidae patch and repair what damage they can before heading out into the next leg of their venture. You guys hear Felidae's voice come across the comms, and he goes, Lucy, I'm curious. I've never heard of an android that owns a ship. How long have you had this? How long have you had this thing?
I've had it for, I guess, almost 3 years. Right after I was brought back, I made acquiring and transport my main priority. And I've been, I guess, as you can see, making modifications to it ever since.
And like Leo pipes up and he goes, well, what's the purpose of this vessel having a name? I don't understand it. It's not sentient. It cannot understand that it exists.
She's gotten me through a lot. I figured she deserved to be referred to as something more specific than just ship.
Huh. Logical. That makes sense. And then Felidae's voice pops back over and he goes, What is the meaning behind the chosen name? What does Clementine mean?
It's actually a reference to a song that my creator used to sing to herself. I guess it just kind of brings back good memories for me.
Interesting. I don't have good memories.
Maybe you'll make some?
I hope so. I hope to do that with you. That is why we've come.
I'm sure we can accomplish that.
And then he just kind of goes back to like soldering a piece of the hull. Like he doesn't respond. He just kind of like nods his head and like looks back down and like goes back to like soldering a piece of armor back onto the hull.
Man, Rom, I know you tried your best, but she's not in great shape.
I really felt like I did better than this.
Just how you holding up?
Quite well. That was certainly interesting, our last voyage there. Loved your ship, by the way.
Thank you.
Rom, I've been meaning to run something by you if you have a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just floating through space, looking at the damage. What's up?
Right. Well, you were with Captain Grimshaw at the Temple of Life, weren't you?
For like 2 seconds before I was destroyed.
Oh, well, never mind then. I guess it's a bit of a long shot. I was going to inquire if by chance you happen to remember how to get there, maybe retain some sort of navigational data.
Why would we want to go back there? That place was bananas.
Just
Also, I'm pretty sure
curious.
I was pretty sure Lucy tracked us. She probably ended up near there at some point.
Right, well, maybe a discussion for another time.
So inside the ship, as Layla enters the cryo bay, she sees Panthera examining a statistical readout of Chum's cryopod. When Panthera sees her enter, he steps to the side, clasps his hands behind his back, and nods to her. Good evening, Officer Briggs. It's a pleasure to see you again so soon. May I be the first to thank you for helping to liberate my brothers and I from our imprisonment.
You're very welcome. I'll be honest, We didn't exactly know you were there, but once we found you, we certainly couldn't leave you behind to die.
It is much appreciated. It appears that the path of my brothers and I, in regards to Mother Prime, aligns well with your friend Rom and his sister Lucy.
I would say so, yeah.
And as I am no use to the rest of your crew in regards to my ability to repair our new home, I took it upon myself to be useful where I could. Having been programmed by Wayland Yutani as a deep space exploration companion, I am fluent in many avenues of medical expertise. What your friend here appears to be experiencing is a mild form of cryosickness. Layla looks down and sees that Panther is talking about chum, often brought on by long-distance interstellar travel. It can be a particularly nasty disturbance. Though I cannot be sure, it is my hope that Dr. Chomsky is only suffering from a mild case. I believe that with your help, we may be able to remedy some of the detrimental side effects. From what I can tell from these diagnostics, it appears that his ailment is a side effect of the pod's Gorinzikol injection. I recall a study that found a 0.03% of the human population rejected such medicinal requirements. I believe that 150 milligrams of stupinifod will possibly balance him out long enough to recover on his own. Going forward, I would suggest you switch your cryo-injections from Gorinzikol to apamidroid in the future to bypass any recent problems.
Wow, you certainly know your stuff. Very impressive. That's a very sound recommendation. I'll be sure to take note of that. Thank you.
Good to know. Would you like to assist me in helping to release Dr. Chomsky from his stasis?
Yes, of course.
Be prepared to brace his body once he exits the pod. He will be disoriented. Nausea, exhaustion, and dizziness are also expected. We must be careful. Removing a human being from stasis abruptly, without a proper wake-up procedure, is dangerous. And while not usually fatal, it can lead to a latent respiratory and circulatory complications, as well as cellular disruptions that may not manifest themselves until days, weeks, or even months from now.
Duly noted. Well, we have to wake him at some point. May as well be now.
I will begin the process of removing Dr. Chomsky. After typing into the cryobase computer, Panthera sets a code for 150 milligrams of stupinifod to be delivered into Chum's individual pod. Layla watches as the usually clear liquid inside the pod fills with a milky white substance that blocks out the viewport window for a few moments. Injection complete. Ending stasis in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Layla watches through the pod window as all the liquid drains from around Chum's body. Security latches on the sides of the pod pop open as the door lifts up. Chum's nearly frozen body lays unmoving, the blood around his nose and mouth long washed away. After a few seconds, his chest begins to slowly rise and fall. Things are looking good. His respiratory and circulatory systems are both coming back online. It appears we are in the clear. All vitals appear normal. Before Panthera can finish his sentence, Chum's eyes burst open, and he screams like a madman before leaping off the pod bed to grab at Layla's throat. Layla roll mobility.
Oof.
After taking only one step forward, Chum's leg cramps up and he drops to the ground. Without extending a hand to help Chum, Panthera takes a step forward to examine him. Ah, yes. I forgot to mention that Gorinzikol carries along with it a strong dose of adrenaline. Don't attempt to move too aggressively, Dr. Chomsky. You're in recovery.
Yeah, so I heave as I hit the ground. I look up to see what seems familiar to me. I look at Layla and just go, Layla?
Nice and slow, Chum. Easy does it.
Layla?
Glad to see you're still alive, man. We're worried about you.
Layla, where's the specimen? Where's the specimen, Layla?
Oh, Jesus. Last time I saw it was perfectly fine. Still very cold and safe. And powered up.
Thank God. What the hell happened to me?
Well, a short version, you came out of cryo, nearly died, and we had to throw you back in until we could figure out how to save you. And here we are. You had a negative reaction to the cryo meds. It was pretty nasty stuff.
Oh my god. Well,
You're
thank you. I guess I owe you my life. Now, right? That's how this works.
I'm doing my part.
When Chum was like thrashing around from the cryo sickness inside of his pod during the last session, one of the things he did was like smash his face against the glass, and that's actually one of the reasons why there was so much blood coming out of his nose. The blood coming out of his mouth was from the cryo sickness, but the blood coming out of his nose was from the broken nose. So,
did someone punch me in the face? What is this?
I think you may have smashed your face on the cryopod there while you were inside.
I stand up as best as I can and try and find a bandage for my exceedingly wounded face.
as Grimshaw jogs around the ship, he runs into Bort as the larger man exits the personal suites. Hold on, let me open this door for you. Bop. And then we got, where's Grimshaw? He's up here, running around. Bumps into Bort. Yeah, so as Grimshaw jogs around, he runs into Bort as the larger man exits the personal suite.
Hey, bud. How's it going?
Good, man. How about you? Taking a little jog.
I'm just waking up from a nap. I could go for some exercise.
What'd you have in mind?
You doing any fighting?
Actually, just did some fighting.
Oh.
You can ask First Officer Briggs how that went.
Ooh. How did that go?
Very quickly.
For who was the unlucky one?
Come on, man.
Hey, I gotta ask.
She's getting there, though. I will go over that.
Yeah, I mean, inside she did pretty well. She handled herself really well. I mean, you know, considering I was kind of out for the count there.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, she's been a real asset. Proud of her.
Well, I mean, you going for a jog? What about? Are you too tired maybe for another fight?
I'm always ready for a fight.
Ooh, okay. You want to meet me in the dojo pretty soon here?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So, Grimshaw and Bort, all right, you guys head down the hallway back up to the dojo. Back inside the dojo, Grimshaw watches as Bort hits a few keys on a digital wall pad that controls the visuals on the floor, ceiling, and walls of the room. After a brief moment, the images change from the beautiful and serene snow-covered Japanese koi pond to the bright, aggressive colors of a hexagonal wrestling ring, complete with turnbuckles and ring ropes. Printed across the mat beneath their feet is the image of a donkey with flaming wings, rear-kicking a bear off the edge of a cliff.
Is that a flaming donkey?
Believe it is.
Hell yeah.
You've done some fighting out in the field, but I don't know. Have you ever fought in the ring here?
Not a proper wrestling ring. I've been in a boxing ring before, but that's just for sparring.
Okay.
Nothing like this.
It was a different experience.
Oh yeah.
All right, you ready to do this?
Absolutely, my man.
All right, so like Bort, I guess like kind of gets into like a fighting stance, like he's like ready to go.
I mean, Grimshaw is still sweating from the fight with Lave and his run, so he's already fucking loose and ready to go.
He's glistening. Okay.
Oh.
Bort goes first.
All right, so yeah, he starts like in a fighting stance, and then he kind of just like he starts like taking a run at you.
Block.
and just like straight leaps into the air with his feet first, like coming right at you.
Ooh, drop kick. I'm gonna try to block.
So Grimshaw's standing there, and he like sees this big-bodied board just run across the dojo and just like leap it in the air with his feet out.
Ooh.
So like while Bort's in midair, he realizes that like he's tilted incorrectly and like he's like twists his body back.
He really, yeah, he's like he recognizes that he's like out of stance. So he like tightens up his movements.
Ooh, I'm gonna push.
Oh
Wow! So Grimshaw, describe what happens because he successfully blocked.
Yeah, I'm gonna block and counter. He basically.
Can I block his counterattack?
Nope.
Oh.
He basically sidesteps at the last possible second and kind of grabs him by the legs and just has him kind of dangling there, prone.
You just like swing him around.
That would be tight. So Bort runs towards Grimshaw, leaps into the air with both of his feet. Grimshaw steps to the side, grabs Bort's legs, and then pivots with Bort's body motion and swings him around to like throw him against the wall.
Here's the counter.
Oh my god. So then Grimshaw counterattacks by running over to Bort and doing what?
He kind of sidesteps, swats / grabs his leg, and pretty much comes down with like an overhead hammerhead fist and just smashes him down. And
oh my god.
So I want to do 3 points. Well, I want to do 3 points of damage, and then with the 4th, I want to do a stunt to switch initiative so I can go twice.
Okay.
Oh man! All right. So we're down to 3. We're down to 3 hit points here,
It is now Grimshaw's turn.
and now it's damn. I'm gonna block.
Okay, so while Grimshaw is just like standing over Bort, like pounding into his head, Bort does successfully put up a block to block it. And you have 1 stunt.
Can I counterattack?
You can.
Cool. So, yeah, he does that like haymaker on my fucking head, right? Like I bounce up off the ring, and then he's pounding on me, and maybe I'm able to like actually like roll away and like get back on my feet and counterattack.
So Bort successfully does 1 damage to Grimshaw,
Okay.
and now it's Grimshaw's turn again.
Like with the panic, like I punch at him, right, and his skin's like a little bit harder than like normal skin. Like I wasn't expecting that, and it kind of like freaked me out a little bit.
Damn, you hit hard, Bort. Nice shot. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna block it.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right, so Bort blocks 1 of those. Roll your panic. All right, you keep it together. So Bort takes 1 more damage. Now it's Bort's turn.
Yeah, so I guess he gets a pretty good shot in on me, and I kind of like stumble a little bit, catch my footing, and then throw a like a haymaker at him, just like a counter punch.
I'll block. All right, I'm gonna use the 2nd hit to counterattack. Yeah.
Do. All right, well, Bort is down.
Still got
All
it.
right.
All right, so like describe Bort's loss here. What happens? How does this go down?
Well, how are you hitting me?
So Bort comes in for that attack. Grimshaw counters, and basically, I don't know how you were trying to attack me, but I'm gonna imagine that you came in swinging, and he instead of sidestepping his time, he just kind of uses his forearm to block and uses your forward momentum to just in one smooth motion pivot, turn, and just clock you and drop.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, I take that hit full force, I guess. And wait, did you hit me in the face or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that just knocks me to the ground, like just straight knocks me down, and I kind of fall, like what, like I'm a giant falling in the woods or something. I make like a very loud thud like when I hit the ground. And I hit the ground and then I'm just winded after that. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like pretty dizzy. And I tap out. And then I start getting to my feet or something.
Good show, man. You pack quite the punch there.
Yeah, you too. Oh, it's been a minute since I got a ringer like that. Good work.
Hey, man, you did better than Layla.
Damn. Doesn't she work for you?
Yeah, but it's all in good spirit.
Okay. Sounds good.
How much damage did Bort do to Grimshaw?
1.
Okay. The captain reigns supreme. Soon after the sparring session has ended, the pair hears Layla's voice come across the ship comm unit, while outside the ship, Layla's voice crackles into the comm units of everyone's helmets.
Guys, Chum is awake. He's going to be okay. Could you all please meet me in the galley to help me debrief him, please?
Well, sounds like our boy's awake then. You want to go check it out?
Absolutely. It's great news. Let's head on over.
Sweet. So he gets to his feet and they walk out towards the galley, I guess.
Tell him good job for being awake. Excellent, doing what humans do when they are done with sleeping.
Okay.
Yes, I guess I just stumbled into the galley behind Layla.
Let's welcome Chum back from the land of the dead, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Wait, is this the toilet ship still?
The one with the buckets.
Yeah.
That's the bucket ship.
Oh.
The buckets are smaller now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys spent some money while I was.
We did, but not on buckets.
So, am I seeing some new faces, or am I just confused?
Yeah. So Panthera is standing there, and he goes, "Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Chum. My name is Panthera."
What's good?
He's like, "I don't understand your statement."
Oh, and I just look at Bort and I just whisper, "It's like, oh, is this an android?"
Yep. Yeah, he's an android. He talks really loudly.
Yeah.
Panthera looks over at you guys and both gives you an awkward little hand wave and a super creepy smile that's just way too big. And he goes,
damn.
"Yes, this is true. I am an android, a synthetic life, Hyperdyne Systems 2246. My name is Panthera."
Yep. Almost died finding him. Got some freaky time crystal thing too. You go check that out.
What is happening? All right, can you guys catch me up, because I am totally at a loss.
It's clear upon walking in that Chum has been through an ordeal. His skin is pale, hair matted. He drinks deep from a nutrient pouch, hydrating himself as Panthera preps him a meal nearby. A few minutes later, the room fills up as Rom, Lucy, Regis, Leo, and Felidae enter. They see Bort, Layla, Grimshaw, and Chum sitting spread out around the central galley table. On the table between them all is a pitcher of nutrient juice and multiple trays of food. A bottle of hard liquor sits open on the table in front of Layla. So as Leo and Felidae enter the room, Chum sees that they have the exact same faces as Panthera.
Where did you guys come from?
Felidae steps forward and he goes, "We spent our entire lives on Weyland-Yutani Secure Black Site Satellite X21463, otherwise known as Rhea's Cradle."
That didn't tell me shit. I'm not gonna lie. Can someone speak human to me, please?
So, what had happened was, I guess Lucy and this Rom kid needed to reunite with what was it? Is she standing there?
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're in there.
Rom,
Okay.
Lucy, and then Regis, who I'm looking for. Oh, there he is. Regis, all now are in this area with you guys.
Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of looking at Rom and Lucy while I'm saying this, kind of trying to prompt them to explain a thing that I just completely don't understand.
Oh man, chum, what happened to your nose?
I was told I had an accident coming out of cryo sleep.
Jesus Christ.
I'm fucking sick of it.
I am too. You were so handsome at one point in your life. Although I also was, 3 feet taller, so shit happens.
I have never considered myself vain, but at this point, I almost am going to dip my face in acid just to get it over with.
You have the worst luck, dude. I swear.
Thanks for reminding me.
So yeah, as far as what happened, I only know what was told to me. Me and Grimshaw were keeping you and the ship alive by not having us blow up. That's all I know. Bort, Layla, and Lucy all went to go save the day, and they brought back 3 androids who look pretty good.
That's wrong. As a kid robot. Wow. Okay. So I'm in the dark a little. I guess maybe let's just roll with it, and I'm going to try and catch up as we go along. Am I in danger?
Not immediately. But we are about to go on another mission. We have to get the ship operational so that it doesn't just implode while we're flying through light speed.
Hey, all of this is an upgrade from the buckets, so I'm all for it.
No, I said the buckets were not upgraded.
Oh yeah, no, the buckets got smaller.
Yeah.
No.
The opposite.
Hey, we
But
have
if
air
it make-
scrubbers now.
We do. She's right. There's other stuff.
It's warm in here. That's an improvement.
There are beds. There's a
No
whole
beds.
tech lab that Salila has been raving about.
Oh, do I have a bed now? We have labs now?
Yeah,
We
you
have-
should maybe
we
take
have
a look
our
around.
Yeah.
Since you haven't actually seen it yet. And while this is happening, Bort's like kind of like fixing himself like a little bit of food, like not a lot, right? But just something to eat and drink and sitting down.
What is he making?
Yeah. Good call.
What is that milky
liquid
that you have there?
Ooh, so it's
Yeah, you said it was like a nutrient
shit. It is
paste or something, right?
Yeah, it's like nutrient juice and paste. That's all Lucy paid for.
Yep. So I mean, whatever that is. I'm not
Open that down.
I think the proper term is space gruel. But yeah, I thank Panthera for preparing my meal. You said he was cooking me something, right?
Yeah, he actually walks over and sets it down in front of Chum, and he goes, "Please, eat this. It will help with your recovery." And as you look down, it's just like gray mush. Like, it looks like mashed potatoes, but like gray.
You know what, buddy? I like you already. But what the hell is this food?
It is nutrient paste. It is made from livers and broccoli and rocks.
Why is it sticky?
Did you say rocks?
Yes, the minerals will be dissolved in your gullet.
Wait, I thought you guys said I was safe and that I am not in danger.
Hey, this is a lot better than rat feces.
Oh my gosh.
Can we change your guys' faces so that you don't all look identical? It's a little disturbing.
Why would we do that? We like the way we look.
Are they saying that all in unison?
Yes.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It's all at the exact same time.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah. They
Together,
look
God.
slightly different. Like one of them's wearing a purple suit, one of them's wearing a blue suit, and one of them's wearing a dark blue suit. But other than that, they look the same.
We're gonna have to like mark you guys or something to be able to tell you apart. This is definitely.
Are you colorblind?
They got
Can you not
different
see
color
the
jackets.
difference in our clothes?
I see the difference in the clothes, but I mean, are you always going to wear those clothes? I guess you don't really have a need to change or wash clothes, do you?
These are
Okay.
the only clothes that we have ever worn.
Well,
You're going to have
go.
to be inspected by Salil anyways to make sure you're not transmitting data back to Wayland Yutani, just because we checked Regis and it would only be fair.
this again.
As Fens of this crew, we are more than willing to submit to any tests that you may have for us. Mother Prime believes you to be good, so we believe you to be good.
Oh, all right. That's nice. That's nice reaffirmation. Lucy, do you want to fill Chum in on what's going on?
Sure. So I guess where to start. Well, you knew the mission that we were going on. So once we got to Rhea's cradle, Bort, Layla, and I infiltrated the space station, satellite station, and met Mother Prime. And she explained to us that she had in her possession a seemingly ancient relic called the Time Crystal that is where Rom and I originated from. We are coded from that and Mother Prime's coding. And she gave us the Time Crystal, and in an effort to help us escape, she blew the satellite station up. So that's where we're at now.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Leo is like, my brothers and I were caretakers of Mother Prime for the last decade. She was like a mother to us as well.
And to make things even more interesting, this time crystal is apparently responsible for every technological advancement since ever. Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm listening.
I'm talking like nuclear bombs, the internet, faster than light travel. This thing is like, I don't even know what to call it, really. It's a miracle.
Feladay steps forward and he goes, it is a perpetual motion matrix.
So, did Wayland Yutani know that they had this at that station? What have they been doing with it?
Mother uncovered the records of the time crystal 80 years ago as a failed operation from Peter Wayland. She understood the possibilities inherent within the crystal, and with our help, and hid the crystal from Wayland Yutani's knowledge. She scrubbed all evidence of the crystal from their files, and with our help, a decade ago, transferred the crystal to Rhea's cradle, where it has been ever since.
Okay, so they don't know that this exists at all.
No, they do
at
not.
the very least, yeah, okay.
Well, that's definitely a good thing.
Mother
Okay.
Prime was a prisoner in Rhea's cradle. She was too intelligent, too alive for Wayland Yutani, but too valuable to destroy. So they left her there, guarded, alone.
Man, well, that sounds lonely.
She had us,
All that time.
and we had her.
That's true.
Is this thing safe to have on board? I mean, it did single-handedly take out a fleet of ships and drones. Well, not single-handedly, but should we put it in some kind of like containment field? Is it safe? Is anybody...
The crystal shard, without a direct conduit, is inert.
We could plug it in and see what it does. I think that'd be fun. It'd be kind of cool to find out what else is on this. It's not often that you get to meet your source code.
It's a bit risky there.
I mean, me and Lucy came from it, so it's got the capacity to create some pretty great stuff.
I mean, it seems like it pretty equally creates and destroys.
I mean, so do we. We have all destroyed.
I'm not sure the human should come in contact with it.
Okay, well, I'll keep it safe.
I trust you to do that.
It's currently just like up in the bridge, like sitting on top of the piloting command controls. It's so Chum knows it's like
It's so not safe right
it's like not even. Well, I mean, it is like nobody on the ship's gonna do anything to it, but it's about the size of a football, and it's like a prismatic opal-like. It looks like an opal, like a crystal shard. It's about the size of a football. So as you guys look around the table, you see like the seats are all filled up. Like you're honestly surprised at how many of you there are now. Like 11 people sitting in here. Or there's 7 humans because Salil is just still outside the ship by himself, like working on it. And 4 synthetics. It's the most that you guys have ever had in one group.
I want to thank everyone for helping me. I couldn't have encountered Mother Prime or learned about mine and Imran's connection to the time crystal, whatever that is, without you guys.
You're very welcome. And to be honest, we should be thanking you too. You took us in, made some big changes to your ship. I can't imagine that was an easy choice for you, and it's much appreciated.
Yeah, Bort's like kind of surprised to hear her say that, right? Like he's gotten used to her being kind of like cold, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, welcome. I think you made a good decision bringing us along. That that almost got out of hand.
It did. It was a little too close for comfort. I admit that I was probably a little too harsh with you guys when I first met you. It's been a long time since I've been around people.
Nah, you weren't harsh enough. It's fine. They can take it.
Yeah, I mean,
God damn it, Ron.
if I had been by myself that long, I'd probably be pretty pissed off too.
No, I'm kidding, Captain.
I know.
Well, if you're willing, I'd like to get to know each of you a little bit more.
Definitely.
Well, we could do that, like
You want to know?
death get to know each other game where we just stand there with a machine gun pointed at us, and if we don't answer, we all die.
I'm sorry, what?
We did that before, remember, Chum? Grimshaw? Layla? We had that weird plane protocol where it was like, if you don't answer this, the whole plane will explode. It was nuts. I missed that shit.
Is that how it went?
Yeah, you remember? It said if you don't answer, then you die. I'm pretty sure it was a all or nothing kind of team building thing. Although I think it may have been a joke because it was meant for children. But
Yeah, no, I definitely remember. It was. I'd like to think we weren't actually in danger, but you could be right. I mean,
we answered.
we don't really know for sure, but
We're kind of lucky. What was it? Adonis was asleep. Otherwise, we would have been fucked.
Who's Adonis?
I don't know who Adonis is either.
he's not really worth mentioning, to be honest.
He,
Yo!
he was.
Bort hears Captain Grimshaw say that, and he's like, "Oh, damn, okay, all right," and just moves on.
He was supposed to be a pilot, but he panicked when he got behind the wheel.
Yeah,
It's
that
not
may have
very
been
helpful.
it may have been a little harsh, but he wasn't with us too long. But what time we did spend with him, he spent getting high, hitting on women, and putting the crew at risk and danger. So, yeah, I'm not going to say he was a bad guy, but
Yeah,
not
but
the
you
best
can't have
crew,
someone
man.
like that on the crew.
Not the best
You got
crew.
jobs to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like you're better off then.
and he died almost immediately.
Oh, he died? Is that he didn't quit your crew? He's
No, we haven't had very many casualties, but he was certainly one.
We've had two casualties so far. Pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
and then one who's imprisoned for life. So 3 casualties so far. So that's not too bad. And 2 quit.
quit your crew?
Yeah. One was a little kid named Nux. He did it in a really baller fashion. He stole a ship that we were using and took a bunch of child assassins, and is probably now pirating through space, just kicking ass as a little kid. And then the other was Radley. So,
Yes, Radley. I was sad to see him go. I guess it's closest I feel to sadness. But I'm not really sure what he would have contributed to the cause, so maybe better off.
So Radley, wherever he is right now, just like out of nowhere, kind of like drops like one tear, and he's just very confused as to why that happened. Well, that's weird. And then we cut right back to this.
Side note, Haley as a person is very sad that Radley's not here. But Lucy wouldn't have cared. Sorry.
I definitely miss him too. We're just starting to bond.
He was the veterinary, right?
Yes.
Dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
he probably would have been real rough. Had a rough go of it. He broke his back recently too. It's nice that he's probably going to get, like a brace.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll probably put that on the mend there.
I guess in the spirit of getting to know each other, people generally ask questions about each other's families. So, do any of you people have families?
I have
My
a
mom-
sister.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, Ma's dead. And Pa, he's still alive. But I don't see him much. Other than that, it's just me.
I have a mother. My father's been long gone, and I used to have a sister, but she died when I was younger.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks.
At the same time, Panthera, Felidae, and Leo all go, "We have brothers."
You don't say.
Could you at least not be in sync?
We
at
do.
all times?
We do say we have brothers.
Are
We
you
will-
guys like a?
We will try not to be in sync. We apologize as it like splitters up. Even
Maybe
worse.
just one of you talk and the other two just stand and nod. That would be
Rob,
good.
you cannot control their communication with us.
I mean, it's just a little unsettling. I've read a lot of thrillers.
Panthera's like, I will speak for us. Is that okay? And then he looks over at Felidae and Leo, and they both nod, and he goes, "Thank you, brothers. If I say something incorrectly, please let them know."
Regis is like, do you all work as a hive mind of sorts?
Panthera looks over at him, he goes, "No, we are just all built from the same code, the same line. I am DX213, he is DX214, he is DX215. We are all very similar. Other than programmable skills, we are the same."
Fascinating.
Who are these people? And he talks to himself.
Ah, yes. You must be the chum or Dr. Chomsky I've heard about. Allow me to introduce myself. Dr. Regis Archibald Hargraves III, at your service.
Do you really need that long of a name?
Well, it's the name my parents gave me.
So what do you do?
I'm a biochemist. Biochemist
Another
extraordinaire.
scientist. Yes. I think we got that research vessel going after all, fam.
Quite right, my boy.
Pleasure to meet you, my dude.
You as well. Glad to see you're still alive.
Do you have family?
I have parents back in London. I'm an only child, so not much to speak of on that front. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and as for me, colony life is cruel. My parents are both dead, but I got a new family now, and I'm hoping that they keep me from turning into a fucking mutant.
Aw, we're your family? I love it, chum.
We'll try, but we're doing a terrible job. We're just doing an absolutely fucking awful job.
I didn't say it wasn't an abusive family.
Oh, good.
Hey, guys. Families fight, right? Always going to be a little drama.
Chum's good eye just starts weeping one single tear in silence.
Lucy turns to him and says, "Are you sad about your face?"
You could say that. Yeah,
Is it
yeah. You could say that. Mm.
What happened to it?
Too many things. I meet these people. I get into adventures. Are these misadventures? Can you guys help me come up with a word for that? Because all that ever happens is I almost die every time we do something.
You know what? It's just nice that it isn't just me going through so many fucking horrible experiences with my body mutilation.
That's fair, bud. That's fair, bud. I definitely concede. You have literally died multiple times.
Yeah, he's just sitting here tapping his metal fucking fingers on the table.
Captain, I'm going to say you got off easy. You have just one dope metal hand now. That's That's way better than your lower half being ripped off, exploded, ripped apart by magnets, your face being melted, your nose being broken. I think a hand is a little bit easy.
I mean, yeah.
You don't even have a scar on your face anymore.
Thing,
you used to have a dope scar on your face.
Was it your stroking hand?
Oh no.
Old lefty. Yeah. No, that's not what to talk about. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird to see a smooth face in the mirror, especially looking younger. But I do suppose the hand was a pretty big inconvenience at first, but I gotta admit this thing's pretty fucking badass. I've gotten used to it and kind of cool, I guess, in its own way.
Lucy turns to Bort and says, where'd you learn to fight like that? The other day was brutal.
I did some time with the Colonial Marshals. After that, I left to become a private military contractor, and we got to learn all kinds of cool stuff. They taught us a bunch of probably you understand, like CQC is close quarters combat. For war fighting, right? But then also I've just been curious about it, and studied it on my own. And I was even almost a pretty famous luchadora for a little while. I was working a wrestling circuit back before I was on Odyssey.
So that's where you got those moves from. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is this going to lead to Lucy and you having a rematch? Because that would be dope.
I mean, I probably need a breather, but I'm always down for a good fight, you know?
You know who's also a really good fighter? Captain Grimshaw. You should fight him, Lucy.
Maybe we can find it in our schedule somewhere.
Sounds good to me. I was up for a good test.
Chum, if you saw a small kid getting just beaten on by a grown woman, what would you do? You'd stop her from beating him, right? No one in this
still
crew
mad
did
about
that. No one in this crew did that. They just let him get mercilessly.
That is exactly what I did.
Bort fought for your honor.
That's right. Bort took her down.
I did. Couldn't let
All right.
Couldn't let your little
Bort's the only one who
child
stepped up.
robot body get beaten like that.
It was
Grimshaw at least questioned it and made sure it was friendly and not.
I've died for you, Grimshaw. Why didn't you step up?
I did kind of half step up.
Grimshaw's like the refs that allow clearly illegal things. Looks good.
Snapping an arm and he just looks the other way.
Yep.
He's grabbing a steel chair. My God.
Rom, I'm sure you've seen worse.
I was not built clearly for fighting. I was built for crawling into small areas and fixing ships, apparently.
Sure.
Talking about,
Rom,
would one of you three want to trade bodies with me?
pretty sure you've killed more people than all of us combined.
Panthera looks at Rom and he goes, I'm sorry, were you speaking to us?
Yes.
Why would we want to trade bodies with a small boy? We are brothers. We like the way that we look. We like that we look the same as each other.
Well, none of you have
are
experienced being a
an
small child.
Abomination.
Wow. That really hurts. But I can't do my best work as a half pint. I need to be a full pint. So it would be really helpful. And we do need people to maintain the ship's inner workings. And I really don't feel like if I'm a pilot, I should be crawling around inside of walls.
I am uncomfortable with your line of questioning. We are the same as each other. And you are different. You are like Lucy. You are separate from Hyperdyne. We don't know what would happen if we switched into the body that you have now. Your time crystal energy, it could be detrimental to our AI.
Well, we can find out.
Rom, you can't take their bodies.
Oh, come on. Do you know how tough it is to be 3 feet tall at all times.
I don't care.
Probably
It's-
4 feet tall. But I'm tired of marking my height growth and it being the same and it being short.
No, you
I
can't.
want to be 2 feet taller and better at things.
They are synthetic life. They're not just shells. You can't just take their bodies.
I mean, are they?
All three of them leave the room and disappear out of the galley. They don't even speak. They just leave.
That's good. I don't trust them yet anyways. They worked for Wayland Yutani directly.
Mother reprogrammed them.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Knocked my mic over.
I mean, there's always like a little bit that lingers beyond the programming. When I was in a working Joe unit, I kept thinking about murdering all humans. I didn't do it much, but it was still there.
You overrode a working Joe unit?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he was decommissioned.
You just out here like taking bodies?
I mean, this wasn't your original body.
Yeah, but there was nothing in it when I...
Well, mine had nothing in it. It was
Your
dead.
current? The working Joe was dead?
Yeah, I repaired him and then took his body.
He
You're
wasn't
like-
fully dead because he got his memories, but yeah.
Yeah, she kind of like squints at him, like she's clearly not happy. And then she says, like, I'm not going to let you take over one of their bodies.
Please
No.
let me take over one of them. It would be extremely helpful.
Absolutely not. It's just,
I want to have reach again. I don't want to have to stand on something to get to the top shelf of anything.
you should have gotten the stilts for legs, man. No.
No, that was just a meaning. They had jetpack options. It was weird.
I'm not going to discuss this further.
Could
Hey,
we like,
Lucy, I've been wondering what what's your degree of trust with this Mother Prime character? I mean, can we trust what she was saying? Like, this seems legit. Like, I'm not trying to question her motivations or anything, but if Wayland Yutani ran that facility, what's the probability that they reprogrammed her? Is that possible?
I trust her.
Bork kind of like looks at you, kind of like sees your android conviction in that thought, and he kind of like, he's like, okay, all right, if you vouch for her, that's fine.
Thank you.
I'm not talking about taking over their body. I'm talking about switching spots. You know, just like an old switcheroo, like trying on a new clothing. But my clothing would be 6 feet tall and better looking.
We don't know what it would do to the one that you're trying to put in your body.
I'm sure it'd be fine.
You're different. It's not that clear cut.
Well, I mean, if we run tests and it wouldn't be dangerous, could I?
No, we can finish this conversation later.
Could I get some backup, please, guys? Tell her how good I was taller. I was way better. I could reach the pedals and everything.
I have a feeling with these new labs, when Dr. Salil gets back in here, we can work out something long term for you, bud.
We weren't able to buy a 3D printer. Otherwise, he would just make me a new body, and that would be better.
What about the time crystal?
Yeah, let's just jack that into him.
We could just jack that into whatever.
So what do we do now?
Well,
Where
we
are we taking this thing?
Well, we have to fix the ship, and then we're taking it to where are we taking it? We're taking it. They said there were coordinates that it gave us. So
Yeah, why don't you tell everyone about the vision you had when you touched the crystal?
Well, when I touched the crystal, it gave us a series of coordinates, and where that and it set up a location that we were supposed to go to.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect when we get where we're going. Basically, we're beyond the boundaries of rational strategic planning. It's going to take us 7 months faster than light to get to these coordinates. They're far outside the outer rim and the frontier that exists from somewhere inside a super void. She kind of
wow.
kind of tries to like smile, but it's clear that she's not convincing anyone that she's happy that she doesn't know what the next step is.
Oh man, so we got to go back in the tubes, huh?
Yeah. Only if you really want to. I think if you stay outside of the tubes, you'll like rapidly age, won't you?
No, there's you go crazy. There's like a
Oh, I mean, if you guys, it wouldn't be that long of a trip, but then you guys could lean in.
there's like a brain disorder that you get if you don't use if you spend too long in hyperspace, you just like go fucking crazy.
Call it the space bins.
Way worse.
But
I don't know what they call it.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, you won't have to use the buckets for that time period. So,
What's wrong with the buckets? I thought the buckets is what you wanted.
they just
Everyone
don't
was saying the whole
dispose.
time. We don't even have one bucket. That was what everyone was saying.
Yeah,
So I got
no.
everyone their own bucket.
She's right. She's right. We did complain about the buckets.
Buckets are better than no buckets.
That is true.
But next
I realized
time,
that
we can
maybe
get-
this was our fault that we didn't ask for the right thing.
Maybe
which
like
was,
a
which was
bathtub.
individual buckets, but also a little bit larger.
a shower, a decontamination area, just little things.
If you had these ideas, Rob, maybe you should.
I really wasn't thinking much because I was, 4 feet tall and have the attention span of a small child now. So you're the adult.
So just for anyone that doesn't know, a super void is a vast space, like just vast empty chunk of space where there are zero galaxies, like no stars at all. They're like these just huge voids, but also what's inside of them, they have like 1/10 of the average density of regular space, which is super weird. People think that they are all formed from the baryonic acoustic oscillations from the Big Bang, which is like collapsing mass followed by implosions that like compress these parts of space that over time have grown. Regions of higher density collapse more rapidly under gravity, eventually resulting in the large-scale foam-like structure or cosmic web of voids and galaxy filaments seen today. 100 megaparsecs in diameter. Voids have mean density less than 1/10 of an average density of the universe. Based on the ratio of number of galaxies per unit volume rather than the total mass. So yeah, these things exist out in space. They're real. They're just these huge portions of nothingness. There's just nothing in them. And I think that's super fucking weird. Especially if like the theory that they're just like really compressed, it's super hyper compressed matter that has expanded is interesting. All right, so 2 days later, all the repairs that can be done on the Clementine have been completed, and the ship is ready to safely reach faster than light speeds once again. Leo and Felidae prepare to shut down the ship's heating and oxygen systems to conserve power over the journey, as Panthera freeze dries all the food and liquid in the galley. What does everyone do to prepare for cryo?
Grimshaw is going to make sure he gets well hydrated. Just going to have one last meal, hot shower. Layla's going to drink.
Can Salil be running diagnostics on the Wayland Yutani synthetics to make sure they're not transmitting signals?
Over in the tech lab, since Dr. Salil has finished working on the ship and has approved it for faster than light travel, he makes his way over to the tech lab where he encounters the 3 android triplets from Rhea's Cradle, Panthera, Felidae, and Leo. As he walks into the room, they all turn and like almost simultaneously are like, "Hello, Doctor," and then they catch themselves. And like Leo steps forward and puts his hand out and he goes, "Hello, Dr. Lamont."
Hello. It is nice to meet the three of you and get to spend a little one-on-one time.
It is nice to spend alone time with you as well. And Panthera and Felidae both nod their heads in agreement.
It's okay. I'm not Rom. You can all talk at once. It does not bother me.
Oh, and then like at the same time, they're all like, that is good to know. We appreciate that, Dr. Salil.
No worries. It is interesting seeing how your CPUs operate and have created very distinct personalities within you.
They all kind of look at each other and they go, "We are different, but not. We are also very similar. We are very much the same."
Yes. I mean, it is in those differences that make all of us unique.
We agree.
So whoever would like to step up first, I will be running just the system diagnostics.
Felidae walks up and he goes, "I will be first."
Excellent. Let's do this. Oof.
So what are you looking for?
Any signals being sent from their code that could be tethering back to like an overarching computer system?
You find nothing, and while you do that, Felidae goes, "Mother Prime had us disconnected from Weyland-Yutani's internal systems ages ago. We've been running ghost diagnostics ever since. They've been watching, they've been watching digital images of us on their screens instead of actually seeing the true us. We are completely disconnected from Weyland-Yutani and loyal only to Mother Prime. And now, Lucy and Ram and you."
Excellent. That is very nice. With Mother Prime being mostly decommissioned for the safety of Ram and you all, does that change anything in your diagnostics? Like, what is the Prime command?
Our prime command is to help Ram and Lucy find their home and see the truth behind the time crystal and learn where it came from in the origins of this universe.
That is heavy. Wow. So do you not have the same kind of computer systems that Ram and Rem or Lucy have had?
No, we are Hyperdyne model DX23 ones. We are made by Weyland-Yutani from their programming. Mother had no input in our build. She only liberated us from control and showed us that we could be more than what we were born to be.
Excellent. Well, Faraday, you look to be in working order, or Felidae. So whoever would like to step up next, I can run my comm checks on you.
Leo walks up.
All right. I want to look for new or unexpected information. GM's choice with the stunt. The main thing I'm looking for is if they would be compatible with switching. Which of them would be the most compatible with switching and not harming their central programming, so that they could transfer data with Ram's unit.
Salil basically decides after like scanning this dude that there's really no way to tell that. Like,
okay.
Because it's a hypothetical. The fact of the matter is that they, their Hyperdyne code, you can, if they're broken or damaged, you can turn them back on, but they can't, switch bodies. Like, that's not a thing that androids in this universe can do. Like, Lucy and Ram are very, individual in that. Like, it would definitely kill them.
Okay. Well, that sucks, because he wants to find out which of them is the least valuable to experiment on.
I mean, really, the only way that Ram would be able to switch into them is if one of them was dead. Because, I mean, that's not true. Like, he could definitely switch. It would just kill this one. But the only way he could do it without killing the one is if they were already dead, is what I'm trying to.
And this one isn't sending any signals, or
No, they're not.
well, then he will check the diagnostics of Panthera.
Okay, so Leo walks away and Panthera steps up.
Excellent. You all appear to be clean and have had your done everything that it says. So, welcome aboard the crew. Sorry for the precautions. We just have had bad experiences. So
Well, I understand. We haven't had too many experiences with humans that have been good. The humans that we did experience and interact with on Rhea's Cradle, the security guards posted there by Weyland-Yutani, were not very friendly to us. They would mock us, call us names. He opens up his shirt and you see a bunch of burned cigarette, burned holes across his chest, and he goes, they would put their cigarettes and cigars out on us, and Leo had a limp for a whole year because they broke the servos in his hip, and Weyland-Yutani took forever to send the parts up to the ship. So honestly, so far in our experience, other than Mother Prime, your crew has been the nicest humans that we've met.
well, we are glad to serve as an example of not being douchebags. So, welcome aboard the crew, and just do your best. If any of you need any upgrades or to have your likeness shifts, that you could be a little bit more individual, that may also help you fit in a little bit better, just because it is very rare to see 3 identical human beings.
Leo is like, we might be interested in changing our hairstyles. Maybe one of you could help us with that.
Yes, we could do this.
And Panther's like, I have always wanted a mohawk.
This is quite the statement. Is that should be easy enough? I think Captain Grimshaw has a lot of experience in shaving his dome, so he may be able to help you with your mohawk.
And he kind of looks and thinks, and he goes, that's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you, Dr. Lamond. We appreciate your candor.
No problem. One of you could even have one of those cool mustaches that twirls at the end. That might be cool.
Feladay goes, I would like a twirly mustache.
Excellent. There's a lot of fun to be had, and you will have a lot of time to experiment with a look that looks best for you while we are in a hypersleep. So
we will have 7 months to do so. We could try so many looks.
Yes, that it will be entertaining.
7-month fashion show.
Excellent. Make sure to take photos so that we can experience your journey together when we wake up.
Yes, this is something that we will do. So then over we got Rom is up in the bridge, making sure that Mother 9000 is correctly autopiloting, and as he's there, he hears the door open behind. Hold on, I gotta open the door here. Steve, check it out. Watch that door. I'll open it. So Regis walks in. Rom turns around and sees Regis walk in.
Rom, might I have a word?
Yeah, definitely. What's up?
I know you were a bit dismissive last time, and I know we were in a group, but now that I had you alone, I wanted to re-inquire about my previous inquest. I know you don't really seem interested in heading back to the Temple of Life, and you certainly wouldn't have to come, but whenever the time comes, whenever we have some downtime, I would very much like to voyage there myself, and this place seems fascinating to me.
It is. It's not that I don't have interest, because I lost a couple really good friends while we were there. We had 2 people that we were supposed to be escorting safely, and they were taken by an engineer or a life form that was much more different than we had encountered before.
But was this the one that called himself Apocalypse?
I never actually met him. I've only heard tale of him. I knew the engineers that I flew with for a series of years. They were it was a young one and a female engineer that were taken by this apocalypse. Or so.
Who
and
are
then they took Brogan, who had helped me experience more movies than any one person should in 2 years.
When you say the engineers, are you referring to mechanics?
No, from what they told me of their people, they're called engineers because they helped put the building blocks of all humanity into place. They're your engineers.
By my word, they created mankind?
As they told me. That's they
That is quite a revelation. I only got a brief description from the captain, but it seems like this place is highly dangerous, but seems like the risk may well be worth it.
It was imploding when we left, and there was a life form that we barely escaped that was a synthetic cyborg thing that had like turned into a monster and nearly caught us as we were trying to fly out of the solar system. It was jumping up from a planet that was just covered in gold.
Good heavens.
We very narrowly escaped, so that's the only reason I'm concerned is I don't think that thing's dead. And if it's not dead, it's just growing in power.
This is quite concerning.
I have the coordinates. If that's where the captain wants to go once our time with the time crystal is up, then I'll fly us there. It's just something that you guys will actually have to want to do. Otherwise, it's better to stay off of that area of space again.
Well, the thing is, in full disclosure, I'm sure you're aware of the captain's condition per se.
Oh yeah. No, I'm fully aware. He went full Reaper mode while I was on his back. It was very different.
Well, a large part of the reason why I'm here, among other things, is to help him, how should I say, hone that skill and maybe use it for the better. And I feel like going to see this place firsthand, maybe even acquiring some of this mysterious ambrosia would be quite useful and vital to my research. And I know there's a risk involved, but we would have the captain and the crew, assuming they would want to come in the first place.
The only thing I'm worried about with the ambrosia is it falling into the wrong hands if we're harvesting it. Because once every couple months, Victor, Sabrina, and Captain Grimshaw all just started fucking ejecting weird tendril creatures out of their body, and it's a bitch to fight them.
I must confess, I am quite curious about this and would not mind observing it for myself, from a safe distance, of course. The captain has told me he's due for one of these outbursts. So, and again, this is just mere conjecture. I don't recruit, and I'm a new guy here. I'm well aware, but if I had any say in the matter, I would love to return there at some point, whenever it's, doable in the future.
If we survive this next mission, I would love to help Captain Grimshaw be able to control everything that's afflicting him, because it's kind of terrifying knowing that like your friend had helped cause a whole like outpost to become just a zombie horde.
Quite right you are. That's most terrifying. And
luckily, with the amount of synthetics on this ship being so drastic now, he should be in safe hands with creatures that won't be affected by. It's more you people that I'm worried about. So,
quite right. I do suppose, worst case, Captain and I could venture by ourselves, not to put the crew at risk. And although I'd much prefer strength in numbers, but I realize that is a big ask to.
The captain and you came out here to help me and my sister after you hadn't even met us, but he had only known my sister for a couple minutes and went on a crazy mission to go fight against Wayland Yutani and enter and find Mother Prime. So, I owe him.
Well,
I owe both of you. So I will fly you there. Barring that I'm still alive and not any shorter than I already am, because I seem to lose limbs left and right.
That is quite the inconvenience, I must say.
You don't have to have an extra robot body with you, do you?
Sorry to say that I do not, my boy.
Damn. I'll figure it out.
At that point, everybody hears Lucy's voice come across the comms of the ship.
Captain Grimshaw has asked me to spar with him, so we are going to the dojo. Whoever wants to watch may join.
Chum, we have to check on the life form before you guys go back into cryosleep.
Yeah, I was hoping to walk around and kind of find it, but if you could show me.
I mean, it's just in the cargo bay.
Oh yeah, seems safe enough.
I mean, it's right next to Grimshaw bought like a freight truck bed that he's just using as a weapons depot.
I feel like I went to sleep and woke up in a distant future because nothing anyone's saying makes sense.
In the bottom, you can see a shipping container. Okay. It's just filled with weapons.
Oh,
so you have Salil stole $1 billion before we left.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Because like Drew said, we all got like 500 million or something each.
Yeah, it's something insane that we don't all need, but we have.
Yeah, so I guess
not 500 million.
Yeah, I'll get the number from you. But okay, so basically, you guys all spent that money on the ship to get upgrades and like deck.
No, Salil didn't spend any of his money.
Okay.
He just split it up evenly amongst everyone in Radley.
Doc, I'm planning to head down to check on this specimen we've been keeping track of for the last few missions. Go check its stability. Considering that you have some technical expertise in this area, you are welcome to tag along. See what we can learn.
Oh, splendid, my boy.
Jesus.
Wait a second.
See you at the cargo bay.
All right. So in just a very brief few minutes, Archibald makes it down, or Regis makes it down. Salil is actually down there as well. Okay, so while Salil is in the cargo bay examining the dragon turtle, he sees Chum walk in and walk over to their little specimen, the little cargo drone, and soon after that, Regis walks in.
So what do you think? Should we create a secret handshake for the mad scientists of this crew?
3 peas in a pod we are.
All right, so now the three of you are alone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to check on the specimen, see what maybe has been done to it since. I want to check its stability, the battery charge on it. And then I would also like to.
I rolled a really high context, so I can just instantly check that for all time now.
Yeah, Salil eyes it and sees that it's still plugged into the ship and that it's running at full 100% power and battery life.
Oh, perfect. Great. I mean, thanks for taking care of this while I was out of commission. I would really like to spend some time with this at some point. Are there facilities on the ship that allow, I guess, biological examination?
Well, we have a tech lab that we could probably outfit with a safety unit to put the specimen in so that you two can contain the creature if we build a unit for it. And we could have the androids, Leo, Filide, and Pedera. They could oversee the creature while we are all in hypersleep.
I like that thought completely. But do you think we should just leave it in the walker until we get to our destination, knowing that it's contained safely this way before trying to remove it to examine it?
Yes, I think it might be best if we wait till we can get the proper equipment, because until I can have a 3D printer and full operations running where I could help build a storage unit, we are pretty much confined to the walker. Is there a way to open up the walker without unleashing, because it's just containing the glass unit that we put in there, isn't it?
So the walker is it's got 4 metal legs and a flat body, and then it's basically got 4 arms that are on each corner of the cargo box, and the arms are holding the cargo box in place on top of the legs. Okay, so the cargo box is what you guys got in the mansion. So the cargo box is what is it has its own interior cryo unit. So you guys have never opened that. You've only ever examined the working order of the legs, basically, that's holding this thing, because they're 2 separate things.
Could I run a diagnostics on the cargo box to see if it has a window or a way to turn on a light or a window so that we can see what's in it?
Yeah, roll Comtech.
All right.
I'll give him a +1 on that.
Okay.
Regis, you want to give me another +1?
Quite right.
All right. Once my thing loads, it's being slow.
Did you say this is some sort of creature?
We're not entirely sure. It was a highly desired specimen by our former employer. I have the impression that it is weaponized just by the way he talked about everything. We have been keeping it safe to give ourselves an opportunity to examine it to better understand what we have. Because, quite frankly, this could be a discovery of a lifetime. It could be the worst thing we've ever heard of. But judging by our luck, I think it's going to be the latter.
My God, fascinating. The sheer possibility.
I pick at some of my scabs.
Triple success.
Yeah. So Salil definitely finds the button to basically open the hatch, and you guys, all 3 of you, are standing there, and you watch as one of the 4 sides of the cargo box slats up and behind it is a glass, a thick 2 to 3 inch thick glass shield, and inside of the cargo box, frozen in a purple liquid, is a 20-week-old human fetus with ram horns and goat's feet, and it's asleep.
Is this a fucking satyr?
That's literally exactly what it looks like. But it's a 20-week-old fetus.
What?
Chum, what the fuck am I looking at?
Chum falls to his knees and stares in awe. Gentlemen, I think they're creating new life, and we need to take care of this.
Can I roll an observation?
Of course.
I want to see if what problems could it cause.
due to it being a fetus and frozen, there's no immediate danger. You don't have to worry about this thing attacking you guys. It's clearly very, very helpless. That being said, any danger that might come from it would definitely be that this is probably a one of a kind. So the fact that you guys were sent to take it from for Vasily, and now you know what it is clearly very important. So you now are sort of realizing, like, oh, like, this is not something he's gonna let go.
We should definitely come up with the handshake, because now we are all in the know of something that nobody else outside of our employer knew.
Quite the exclusive club this is, I must say.
It is 3. A club of 3. You, Chum, and me.
Let's get this thing closed up, and then let's figure out our little handshake here. I vote for a downward thrust of the hand, and then a wiggle of the fist, and then a slap to the back of the hand, and then a grab of the wrist, and then a high five. I think that'll be quite acceptable.
Excellent.
You guys succeed at your handshake.
All right, yeah, let's close this up, and let's suggest that these androids wash it carefully while we're in cryo. But I think I've satisfied my immediate urges, and now I have something to dream about.
Sweet. So my with my stunts, I just wanted a +1 on a future Comtech roll, and to not ever have to roll to open up the side of this again to look at it.
Okay, that works. Back up at the dojo, Bort and Layla both walk in to see Grimshaw and Lucy sort of preparing for their little sparring session. What is what do the walls look like? What images did you guys decide to go with?
The roof of a building of like not a skyscraper necessarily, but like a medium height building, like maybe it's like 11 or 12 stories. It is dark. It is in the rain, and it is like lightning crackling and stuff like that. Like it's just a really dramatic scene for you guys.
Bort and Layla sit down on the edges and they watch to see what happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to hit him.
I'm gonna block. Ooh.
So Grimshaw blocks 2, but Lucy successfully hits. You can either do 2 damage or you can do 1 damage and then a stunt.
I'll just do 2 damage.
Okay. So Lucy comes in fast and hard. How does she hit him?
She kind of like rushes at him and then does like a 1-2 punch on his chest.
Okay.
Damn, you hit hard, girl.
So Grimshaw immediately throws 2 punches back and does the same damage to Lucy.
I want to do 1 damage and then switch initiative.
Oh shit! Okay. So then now it's Grimshaw's turn again. Oh shit! Okay. So now what do you want to do with those 3?
3 damage.
Okay. So that's 4 total to Lucy. It's now her turn.
Okay. I'm gonna try to attack.
Block. That was her attack, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I definitely said block. Ooh, nice.
All right. So he successfully blocks, which means it's now Grimshaw's turn.
Can I block?
Okay.
Oh, you barely got it in there.
Yep. All right. Roll your close combat, Haley. All right. So she blocks 1. So Grimshaw does 1 damage to her, and it is now Lucy's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna attack.
Block.
Oh, okay. So he blocks and gets 2 stunts.
I want to do one of the stunts. I want to counterattack.
Okay.
And then for the second stunt, can I just do 1 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So Lucy takes another damage, and then Grimshaw gets to attack.
6 damage. All right. That should be.
All right. So that's 7 damage total to Lucy. Okay,
Yeah. She's done. Sorry, I have not. Okay.
No, you're good.
I understand. She's done. She's down.
All right. So what is Grimshaw like? How does it happen?
When she comes in to swing, he kind of sidesteps it and hooks her leg with his leg and like rolls around and grabs her from behind like a German suplex and just kind of slams her backwards.
Okay. So yeah, Lucy just
Bort
gets...
sees the suplex and he's like, yeah.
So
That's my boy.
Lucy just gets like slammed. Like Grimshaw picks her up, like swings her backwards over his body and like slams her into the ground.
And she's just like, ugh. Like, she's not happy.
So that's 3 successful wins for Grimshaw, which means that he just went up 1 close combat point.
Oh shit!
How much damage did Lucy do to him?
1.
Oh my god. So yeah, Grimshaw is just like an unstoppable raging monster at this point. So
Chum silently walks up to Leela and borrows her flask and takes a couple shots before he heads to the cryo bay.
Hell yeah, chum! Drink it up, man. You deserve it.
Bort, he congratulates Grimshaw on another win. He's like, good job, man. That was a hell of a suplex. Where'd you learn that?
Watched a little wrestling back in my day.
Yeah. That was really nice.
Thanks, bud.
And then he goes back to get ready to go into cryo
Salil did everything he wanted to do, so he just sort of like looks reluctantly at the cryo bay, and he's like, if only madness was not so heavily frowned down upon, I would stay up, but I should probably get some rest.
does everybody load up into the cryopods?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So everyone's safely secure in cryo for 7 months.